I greet you in peace, Assalamu alaikum. The other day I saw a woman working at a booth in the mall reading a book on chakras. When our eyes met she tried to hide the book from me. Why? Maybe it was because she wasn't supposed to be reading at work, or maybe she wanted to hide the fact she was studying Eastern religions. It got me wondering, what does Islam, one of the most spiritual religions in the world, whose adherents pray 5 times a day, who turns every action into an act of worship, ibadah, have to say on the subject? And I discovered some interesting things, of course. The spiritual memory banks. First, what the heck is a chakra anyway? Chakras, Sanskrit word for wheel or turning, are 7 subtle energy points in the body, where the spirit and the physical converge. Source. According to medical intuitive and author, Caroline Myss, who described chakras in her work Anatomy of the Spirit, 1996, every thought and experience you've ever had in your life gets filtered through these chakra databases. Each event is recorded into your cells. In effect, your biography becomes your biology. Source. What I really find interesting comparatively to Miss statement above is that the Quran speaks of our bodies bearing witness against us on the day of judgment and requital. Allah revealed, Surah Al-Nur, the light, 24:24, on the day when their tongues, their hands, and their feet will bear witness against them as to their actions. Surah Yasin, YS, 36:65. That day shall we set a seal on their mouths. But their hands will speak to us, and their feet bear witness, to all that they did. Surah Fussilat, explained in detail 41 hours 19 minutes -22. And, remember, the day that the enemies of Allah will be gathered to the fire, then they will be driven. At length, when they reach their fire, their hearing, their sight, and their skins will bear witness against them, as to all their deeds. They will say to their skins, Why bear ye witness against us? They will say, Allah hath given us speech, He, who giveth speech to everything, He created you for the first time, and unto Him were ye to return. Ye did not seek to hide yourselves, lest your hearing, your sight, and your skins should bear witness against you. But ye did think that Allah knew not many of the things that ye used to do. According to Ibn Kathir's Tafsir, commentary of the Quran, the disbelievers will be displayed their deeds, and will deny that they did it, and the mouths will be sealed, and our bodies will speak against us. Source. So maybe there is something to this chakra thing, for our flesh to speak out against us on Judgment Day. Our flesh, must have some sort of memory bank. The meditative and Allah. I also read that there was some sort of relationship between reciting Ohm or Om during meditation and your chakras. In his book, Japa Yoga, Himalaya Press 1978, Swami Shivananda states that a yogi that practices Japa Yoga, with only the Om and is successful at Mahasamyama, oneness with the object. In this case the word being meditated on, becomes a direct disciple of that. The OHM, the most holy of all words, syllables, the same as the word of creation as recognized by the Torah, although this is not professed or quite possibly not even recognized by those of secular authority in either Judaism or Christianity. Thus the yogi achieving this feat needs no guru or satguru to achieve any spiritual goal, and Swami Shivananda mentions that this yogi has a path that is, in all recognizable ways and manners, reverse of that of other yogis or spiritual aspirants and their paths, and those include all Christian ascetics, in that this spiritual aspirant then works through the chakras, mastering them from the crown down. The Om in Hindu culture is important, and the Hindus are an ancient people of India. In Bengal they call Allah Hari, or forgiver. In other provinces, they prefer to adore Rama, the joyful. The highest name according to their scriptures is Om. The origin of this word is uncertain. It has been traced to a pronominal base or, but then it should be not Om. However, Or means to protect, hence Om means protector or guardian. Source. Interesting enough is that the word Om or Om, according to Urdu or Arabic alphabet, is formed from 3 alphabets, Alif, Wa and Mim. If we consider the abbreviations of these, Aleph means Allah, Wa or Wa means and while Mim means Muhammad. It shows that Om is a confluence of Allah and Muhammad's source. In the Muslim declaration of faith, they bear witness there is no Allah worthy of worship but Allah, and that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Thus your faith goes from the abstract, Allah which is the ultimate reality, to the concrete, the physical sense world, and belief in both is required to be considered a believer. The Miraj and your chakra Latifs, the Isra and Miraj, Arabic, Su'an Zuash Su'onse, Al-Isra Val Miraj, are the two parts of a night journey that, according to Islamic tradition, the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad took during a single night around the year 621. It has been described as both a physical and spiritual journey. A brief sketch of the story is in Surah 17 Al-Isra of the Quran, and other details come from the Hadith, supplemental writings about the life of Muhammad. In the journey, Muhammad travels on the steed Barak to the farthest mosque where he leads other prophets in prayer. He then ascends to Heaven where he speaks to God, who gives Muhammad instructions to take back to the faithful regarding the details of prayer. According to traditions, the journey is associated with the Laylat al-Miraj, as one of the most significant events in the Islamic calendar. Ironically, I found in another article called Yogic Insights into Islam which speaks of Muhammad's ascension from Jerusalem, the Miraj, to the seven heavens where he meets several prophets of Allah and eventually meets Allah as representing the seven chakras of the body. The author states, and I quote, "The seven heavens through which Muhammad passed must of course correspond to the seven chakras that exist within the human body. Each chakra, say the yogis, is the abode of a special deity whose character embodies the chakra's innate spiritual qualities. The human chakra system is a microcosm for the entire Eastern pantheon of Allahs, goddesses and heavenly beings. The prophets and angels that Muhammad encountered in each heaven could well have been these same inner deities that the yogis personally discovered through intense meditation. In conclusion, Muhammad's ascent through the seven heavens was, in fact, the ascent of the Kundalini, taking his consciousness with it, to divine union with the Allah Almighty. It is no coincidence that the entire Miraj is described to have started and finished in an incredibly short period of time. While sitting in his room, Muhammad heard someone grasp the door handle, and the sound of the latch clicking was the last thing he heard before Gabriel's appearance and the duo's departure on their spiritual journey. Muhammad's return to mundane experience restarts with the next few clicks of the same latch movement. In other words, the entire experience occurred in a sort of no time. This is not an unusual proposition since meditation is a state of awareness created by the ascent of the Kundalini through the chakras. As it pierces the sixth chakra, third eye or Ajna, and seventh, it takes the meditator into the state of thoughtless awareness, nirvichara samadhi, and beyond. This is a simple state where one experiences true mental silence, beyond the normal mental awareness of past, future, cause, effect. The mind, as this editorial column has often discussed before, can only deal with the dimension of past and future, cause and effect, thought and memory. However, the state of meditation begins in the spaces between the thoughts. This is the numinous dimension where there is no passage of time but only a singular, silent, eternal, thought-free and joyful experience. It was from this dimension of awareness that Muhammad perceived the divine vision of a universal culture and spirituality. Through his meditative vision he learned of humanity's higher potential, thus his mystic perception of the universal spirit and its presence within each of us became the template upon which he sought to fashion a new society whose foundations lay not in issues of common material interest but in the unique awareness of self-realization. Muhammad was, in fact, laying the first building blocks for the emergence of a spiritual civilization that may only now come into fruition. Source: the Latif as-Sitta in Islamic Sufism. The chakras are recognized as Latif as-Sitta, the six subtleties, singular, Latifa, or the psychospiritual organs or, sometimes, faculties of sensory and suprasensory perception in Sufi psychology. However, The Islamic Latif system differs from the Hindu system, especially where the spiritual centers are located. The rudimentary psychological terms, enriched and expanded by the already existing vast and conflicting welter of Gnostic, Neoplatonic and Hermetic teachings, formed a system of psychospiritual correspondences resembling partially the Kabbalistic one. The true ancestor of the Latifs, in its most widespread impersonations, lies in the Eastern Mediterranean, not in the rainforest of the Hindu-Buddhist tradition, according to Ibn Harvat, source. In Islamic Sufism, the Latifs are thought to be parts of the self in a similar manner to the way glands and organs are part of the body. Drawing from the Quran, many Sufis distinguish nafs, kalb, sir, kafi, and akfu as the 6 main Latif, source. Nevertheless, in the Naqshbandi Sufi order, Tariqa, and most other Sufi orders, there are 7 Latifs recognized corresponding to a color, corresponding to a part of our bodies, corresponding to a prophet of Allah. However, according to Sheikh Ahmed Hindi, humans are made of 10 Latif or components of creation. 5 of them pertain to Alamiyam, the divine world, and the remaining 5 pertain to Alami Khalq, created world. The 5 Latif of Alamiyam are kalb, sir, kafi and akfar. The 5 Latif of Alami Khalq are nafs, soil, solid, water, liquid, air, gas, and fire, energy. The last 4, corresponding to earth, water, air and fire, are collectively called Latif Kalbiya, referring to the physical human body, Kalib, also referred to as Sultan al-Azkar in many Sufi orders. Some Naqshbandis correlate them as follows: the 7 Latif Latifat and Nafsi. According to some, this Latifa is located slightly below the navel, and is yellow. For others, it is between the eyebrows and is blue. The word nafs is usually translated as self or psyche. Its etymology is rooted in breath, similar to Kabbalistic nefesh, and is common to virtually all archaic psychologies where the act of breathing was connected with life, animating otherwise lifeless object. In this respect, ancient notions of Atman in Hinduism, cf. German noun atem, breath, respiration, or Greek pneuma, as well as Latin spiritus, all equate the basic visible process of breathing with energizing principle that confers existence to an individual human being. Some Sufis consider under the term nafs the entirety of psychological processes, encompassing whole mental, emotional and volitional life. However, the majority of Quranic-based Sufis are of the opinion that nafs is a lower, egotistical and passionate human nature which, along with tab, literally, physical nature, comprises vegetative and animal aspects of human life. Ego may be assumed as an equivalent for nafs in modern psychology. The central aim of the Sufi path is transformation of nafs, technical term is tazkiyah nafs or purgation of the soul, from its deplorable state of ego-centeredness through various psychospiritual stages to the purity and submission to the will of Allah. Although the majority of the Sufi orders have adopted convenient 7 maqams, permanent stages on the voyage towards spiritual transformation, and some still operate with 3 stages, the picture is clear. The Sufi's journey begins with Nafsi Amara, commanding soul, Nafsi Lawama, self-accusing soul, and ends in Nafsi Mutmainna, satisfied soul, although some Sufis' final stage is, in their technical vocabulary, Nafsi Safiya wa Kamala, soul restful and perfected in Allah's presence. In essence, this is almost identical to Christian paradigm of vita purgativa and various stages the spiritual aspirant traverses in the journey towards Allah. Latifat al-Kalbi. According to some, this Latifa is located in the left of the chest and is yellow, for others it is red. In it man witnesses his deeds. By awakening it, man also gets the knowledge of the realm of jinns. The word kalb stands for heart. In Sufi terminology, this spiritual heart, not to be confused with the blood-pumping organ, is again variously described. For some, it is the seat of beatific vision. Others consider it the gate of ishq or divine love. Yet, for the majority, it is the battleground of 2 warring armies, those of nafs and ruh or spirit. Here, one again encounters terminological confusion. For the Sufis influenced by Neoplatonism, a higher part of nafs is equated to the aql or intellect, called nafs-in atika, or rational soul, and is the central active agent in spiritual battle. Ruh or spirit, notwithstanding its name, is rather passive in this stage. In short, cleansing of the qalb or heart is a necessary spiritual discipline for travelers on the Sufi path. The term for this process is tazkiyah-i-qalb, and the aim is the erasure of everything that stands in the way of purifying Allah's love or ishq. Often people take their heart's word, inner feeling, as truthful. If their hearts were indeed truthful, then why are not all the people of the heart united? Qalb of the common folk is in a sleeping or unconscious state, and does not possess any awareness or correct understanding. This heart can err in judgment due to the dominance of the self and kanas, the whisperer, or due to the person's own simple-mindedness. Placing trust in a sleeping, or unconscious, heart is foolish. When the name Allah does vibrate in the heart, an awareness of right and wrong, and understanding follows. It is then called Qalbi Salim, the sound heart. Then the prominence of the meditation by qalb changes its direction towards Allah. It is called Qalbi Munib, the repentant heart. This heart can prevent a person from mischief, but it cannot make a right judgment. When the theophanies, tajliyat, of Allah begin to fall on the heart, it is called Qalbi Shahid, the witnessing heart. Qalb and nafs form the ruh-i-hayvani, animal soul. This part of the soul has the record of every activity of life. It is also termed as jovia, confluence. Latifat RUQYA. According to some, this latifa is located in the right side of the chest and is red, for others it is green. After its activation the human gets acquainted with Alami Araf, the place where man resides after death. This is on the right side of the chest. This is awakened and illuminated by the meditation and one-pointed concentration on it. Once it becomes illuminated, a vibration similar to the heartbeat is felt on the right side of the chest. Then the name of Allah, Yahweh, is matched with the vibrating pulse. The meditation of the soul is done in this way. This is advancement in rank and status and is better than the qalb. It is able to travel to the realm of the souls, the station of the Archangel Gabriel. Anger and rage are attached to it that burn and turn into majesty. Ruh or spirit is the second contender in the battle for human life. Again, opinions on Ruh differ among Sufis. Some deem it co-eternal with Allah, others consider it a created entity. Be that as it may, Ruh is the plateau of consensus for the majority of Sufis, especially before 11th/12th century CE for those Sufis with Gnostic leanings, which can be found in Bektashi or Mevlevi orders. Ruh is a soul spark, immortal entity and transegoic true self, similar to the Christian concepts of synteresis or imago or Vedantist notion of jiva, as well as Tibetan Buddhist shizpa, principle of consciousness, and Taoist shan or spirit. But, the majority of the Sufis would consider this an unnecessarily extravagant speculation and would stick to the more orthodox notion of dormant spiritual faculty that needs to be worked upon by constant vigilant prayer in order to achieve the tajliya, or illumination of the spirit. Ironically, this spiritual faculty is frequently referred to in terms one encounters in connection with nafs, blind life force or life current that needs to be purified by strict religious observances in order to achieve illumination. Latifat as-Sir is located in the solar plexus and is associated with the color white. It records the orders of Allah for the individual in similitude to that which is originally present in Louis Mahfouz, preserved scripturum. After its activation, human being gets acquainted with Alami Misal, the allegorical realm. Reflection of knowledge of the preserved scripturum. This center is associated with consciousness. This is also awakened and illuminated by the meditation and one-pointed concentration on it with the name of Allah, Yahweh, Yahweh. The dream state, or by spiritual separation from the physical body transcendental meditation, it can journey to the realm of the secrets. Sir literally means the secret. Emptying of the sir, takliyah sir, is basically focusing on Allah's names and attributes in perpetual remembrance or dhikr, hence diverting one's attention from the mundane aspects of human life and fixing it on the spiritual realm. The emptying signifies negation and obliteration of ego-centered human propensities. Sir and Ru form Ru'i Insani, human soul, or Ayan. This part of the soul is inscribed with commands characterizing the life. It is also termed as Ayan. When a human being gets acquainted with it, he can witness the record and scheme of all that exists, written on Louis Mahfuz. Latifat al-Kafi. According to some, it is located in the middle of the forehead, the third eye position, and is black, to others blue. It is the equivalent of Kitabi Markum, the written book. According to others this is to the right of the center of the chest. It too is taught the name of Allah Yawahid by meditation. It is green in color and it can reach the realm of unification. The term Kafi means mysterious, arcane or latent subtlety. It represents intuition. Latifat alak for the term Akfa or Ikfa means most arcane, deeply mysterious, or obscure, subtlety. Its location is deep inside the brain or on center top of the head. The color of this center, according to some, is green, to others, violet. It's the Nuqta-e Wahida, point of unity, in every human where the Tajliyat, beatific visions, of Allah are directly revealed. It contains information about the hidden knowledge of the universe. By entering into this point, the human being enters the system of the universe and laws governing the universe, and he understands the meaning of for you, we, Allah, have revealed whatever is in the earth and the heavens. This center is associated with deep perception. According to some this is situated at the center of the chest. It is awakened by meditating on the name of Allah, Yahad. It is purple in color and it too is connected to that veil in the realm of unification behind which is the throne of Allah. The last center or subtlety is accessible only to those who have developed the others, and belongs to the real sage. See the Sufis by Idris Shah. Akfar and Kafur form Ru'i Azam, the great soul, also called Sabita. It is a bright ring of light in which all the information pertaining to the unseen and seen cosmos is inscribed. The attributes of Allah that have been transferred to the existence and have become parts of the mechanism of the universe are collectively known as the incumbent knowledge, ilmi wajib. Knowledge of the incumbent means knowledge that has been transferred to the existence, that is, it refers to those attributes of Allah with which existence enjoy affinity and correlation. The knowledge of the incumbent is also known as the knowledge of the pen, ilmi kalam. First descent is that state when Allah exhibited the program present in his mind as he willed. The creative formulae of the cosmos are the secrets of the first descent. Why did Allah opt to create the universe, and what is the will of Allah, which he intends to accomplish? Reflection of all these things is found in the Great Soul, the firmly affixed inscription. One side of Great Soul is the obscure subtlety, Akfar, and the other side is the latent subtlety, Kafi. Great Soul is the storehouse of 11,000 beatific visions of Allah. The person who attains communion with these two subtleties can observe these visions. These two subtleties of Akfar and Kafi are found in every human being irrespective of who he is, what he is, or his station in life. Great Soul, human soul, and animal soul are actually levels of functioning of the same soul and are not three different souls. These three components are like three rings of light infused in one another and are collectively called the soul, the indivisible entity, the Lord's edict, or simply the man. Your personal ascension man gets acquainted with them one by muraqabah, Sufi meditation, dhikr, remembrance of Allah, and purification of one's psyche, life from negative thinking patterns, fear, depression, negative emotions, hate, contempt, anger, lust, and negative practices, hurting others psychologically or physically. Loving Allah and helping every human being irrespective of his race, religion, or nationality, and without consideration for any possible reward, is the key to ascension according to Sufis. Therefore chakras or Latifs are real and correspond to 7 major areas of our being. How do we ascend up these Latifs/chakras/heavens? Because some of us seek more than ritual prayer, salat, fasting the Ramadan, paying the zakat, tax rate to the poor, or going to Hajj once in our life. We seek a closer union with Allah. This is done through the purification of our souls and spirits. Taking steps through fasting, prayer, good deeds, remembrance of Allah, dhikr, and detachment from the illusions of this world's life to achieve this union with Allah. So we do not have to go outside of Islam to find spiritual coming together with Allah. This doesn't mean we do not work, marry, and have families. No. Islam keeps it real. However, our hearts and mind should be totally focused on pleasing our Lord at all times, from the mundane, like washing your car or doing the dishes, to how you walk and talk, and how you treat other people. You should be a manifestation of Allah's attributes. Where the self becomes so diminished, people will see you physically but will only see God Allah when walk and talk, and do. You become transparent and Allah will be the light shining through you. If you are suffering from depression, do not kill yourself, do not hurt yourself, but diminish yourself via the steps described above. It is not about you, it is about Allah. Allah revealed in Surah's Zariyat, the winds that scatter 51 hours 56 minutes I have only created jinns and men, that they may serve me. This is where true bliss and happiness abides. Ma salama.